Good evening, everyone. Thanks for coming out and joining us. I know it's a cold day today. Appreciate it. Good to see everybody. Welcome to the Washington Township Committee regular meeting for January 19th, 2026. It is 7 p.m. Members present, Committeeman Roehrich, Committeeman Bajek, Vice Mayor Murello, myself, Michael Marino, Attorney, also present, Attorney Sullivan, Administrator Denean, Township Clerk Probasco. Adequate notice of this meeting has been was sent to the Daily Record and the Observer Tribune on January 9th, 2026. It was posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building. In addition, a copy of this notice has been available to the public and is on file in the office of the municipal clerk. It's also available at www.wtmorris.org or our official township website. This meeting is being held at the Washington Township Municipal Building, 43 Schoolies Mountain Road, Long Valley, New Jersey. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, for the mayor's update, I actually don't have a formal mayor's update today because I did the annual mayor's address about 2 weeks ago, so we'll restart that again in February, but I do want to make a quick comment. This past weekend storms were very, very taxing for our DPW and our police department. You know, it wasn't the worst storm that we've had, but it was just a lot of snow spread over a long period of time. It was cold, so snow wasn't melting. I just want to acknowledge our police department. They were just getting called on call, just being stacked up, and they were running. And I appreciate all the time and effort of our police, so thank you, Chief. You can let them know. Also, I want to thank our DPW. They always do a great job. This was extra taxing for them. You know, in the past, you could do a main road, then a development, and continue on other developments, but now, you know, with the snow lingering, they have to keep going back to our main roads, and it really took a long time. They were working basically 24 hours, so that was really difficult. So thank you to our DPW. They always do a great job. And always, just with our first responders, always being on call, our first aid, rescue, and fire. Thank you for always being available. I know the weather isn't perfect to do that, so thank you. All right, with that, I'd like to open the meeting up to the public. Any member of the public wishing to make any comments, this is for public comment only. Please feel free to do so.
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you, Mr. Carter?
I am excellent, except a little cold. Well preserved. Pat Connor. Wanted to bring to the committee's attention, if it hasn't been already to other anyway, Office of Cable Television and Telecommunications approved our contract, or whatever the correct term is, franchise agreement. Yeah. So, within 6 months of January 21st, which is the day of, this is the date that the approval is granted, we should have $25,000 from Comcast coming to the budget. So this is, budgeting season is here, so please make sure that that's in there, and be anxious to hear what the township chooses to do with the $25,000. Of course, as many of you already know, I've been an advocate for some time of streaming these meetings. Certainly had numerous conversations with Committeeman Roehrich and others, and I agree that with concerns over grandstanding and delays and disruptions of meetings, since I attend the meetings myself, so would appreciate continued efficiency in the meetings. But anyway, it's here, it's coming. I assume, Denean, did you get the letter?
No,
Oh, you haven't received it yet?
we haven't received it yet.
Oh, well, Mailman Pat, over and out, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Connor.
Yes, you're welcome.
Anyone else?
Mayor and Council, Chris LaSala. Good, how you guys doing? Okay, I'm here because some of you ran for office on the promise of common sense and change. I'm here to hold you to that. Recently, our town saw a wave of overnight parking tickets issued under an ordinance that has been dormant for years. While we have the highest respect for our officers, especially since they're keeping us really safe, and I appreciate what you said, Mayor. Blanket enforcement without a warning is not fair practice. We are asking for communication, not a midnight summons. The current midnight 6 to 6 a.m. ban is outdated. My home has 5 drivers and 6 vehicles. When college students are home, friends visit on a clear winter night, our driveways are at capacity. Forcing a family to shuffle cars at midnight like a jigsaw puzzle makes no sense when the roads are dry. We shouldn't be penalized for the crime of having a large working family. The weather-based model. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. Our neighbors in Mendham Township have a smarter code. They don't ban parking based on the clock, they ban it based on the weather. Their law essentially states no parking when the road is snow-covered or an emergency is declared. This protects the plows when it matters, but doesn't punish residents on a clear night. It's a professional common sense compromise. This issue highlights a bigger problem. Our books are full of double standards. We have parking laws that tell us to stay off the street and zoning laws that make it nearly impossible to expand our driveways. I'm formally proposing we create an ordinance review committee, if it hasn't already been formed. This group would identify and clean up these ancient contradictory laws that no longer serve us. Let's lead with empathy and make our rules match the way we actually live in 2026. Finally, because this enforcement came so suddenly after years of dormancy, I'm making a respectful request to the committee and mayor to consider waiving the fines for this recent wave of tickets or converting them to formal warnings, whether a resident has already paid or is currently holding a summons. This gesture would show that the township values fairness and communication over revenue. It would clear the air and allow us to start fresh as we work together to modernize these laws. Let's lead with empathy and make our rules match the way we actually live in 2026. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. I just want to let the record state, Mr. Curioni, we're at the 7:05.
Deanna? Can I do something for the record? Sure. I have a whole bunch of copies. Should I give them to you? Just one. Thank you.
Anyone else from the public? Seeing none, I'll close the meeting to the public. No, I just want to make a quick comment. When it comes to ordinances, we create ordinances, not on a whim. We create ordinances if there's not in a vacuum, if there's a problem. We'll get notified, our police department, or DPW, or engineers, and we sit, we look at options, we discuss pros, cons, we discuss what the problems are, and then we discuss and we use our professionals, our attorneys. So, when we talk about common sense, there's a reason for certain ordinances. I just want to also let the record state last year, there were warnings put on cars. And I got a lot of calls. Why was my car, why were we warned? After all these years, I never got a warning. And I'll tell you the truth, is because DPW is coming back saying, there's cars that are parked overnight when it snows. Doing what works for one town doesn't necessarily work for another. We get different snow on the mountain that we don't have off the mountain. So, it's very difficult to enforce things like that. The Township Committee has no bearing on enforcement. That solely rests with our police department. And they do a great job doing that. Obviously, if there's a question, you can always speak to our police chief about it. But at the end of the day, I know just from phone calls and discussions I've had that people are taking advantage of it. Because it wasn't enforced, people are leaving their cars out. I know this past storm this weekend, there were a lot of cars on the road. Not just overnight, but during snow, you have to keep the cars off, and the DPW trucks have to go around. It's just creating a dangerous situation. As for reviewing, we do have an ordinance review committee, and we always review these ordinances constantly. This is no different. And if the committee feels there's something that needs to be changed, like we do anything else, we'll always address it. But I know in this specific situation, we've been having problems with people taking advantage of the situation. Part of me also thinks it's because it hasn't been enforced. And I think why they do it, just from conversations I've had with residents, they're being honest with me. So we'll continue to review ordinances as we need to, but, just what I wanted, a few words. Anyone else want to add anything to that?
Yeah, the only thing I'll add is that, Mr. Lasella, I mean, I've known you for a long time. Have you lived in town prior to 1988, 89?
I've lived here since, 2007.
So, I mean, that ordinance is, the no parking is pretty clear. It's signed, and it's been around for as long as I've been in town, for 21 and a half, 22 years. And like the mayor said, the number of complaints we get, not just from your development, Hidden Hills, but from other developments on people that park illegally, or just park overnight, are quite a lot. Now, if you want to challenge your ticket, you know that this is not the place to do that. There is, however, you can plead not guilty and go to the court and let the judge make her decision. I will have to say though, for a $74 ticket, it seems like a lot of effort. All right, well then, you lived in that development for a long time. You know that the driveways in there are not what we would typically have in Long Valley. You know, it's the same thing every year. I don't know, this is not the right place to argue guilty, not guilty for a parking ticket. I mean, have you gotten warnings in the past for other moving violations and parking violations in Washington Township?
Parking violations, no. I've, you know, I have 3 kids in the family that park, they come home, park in the street, obviously. There was a police officer that came, to our door on New Year's Eve, the night it did snow. We had no problem with that, we put the cars right in the driveway. I was not exactly 100% aware. I lived in a town that, it said when snow is covered, not necessarily every single night.
But you've lived in this town for quite a long time.
Right.
And that's not
Ignorance is no
not our
excuse,
ordinance.
granted.
And you said you have received warnings from the police department for other things in the past. My point is, you made a comment that you felt that you should have, there should be warnings.
Oh, yeah,
And
okay.
our police
Fair enough.
department issues warnings all the time.
Mhm.
I'm just asking, I'm assuming, I'm not assuming, I apologize. Have you and your family received warnings from them in the past?
Fair enough, yeah.
My only comment to you, I mean, obviously, you know, you can go through the court system, but I read your post from January 9th. And my only comment, and certainly, you know, I never comment on other people's social media pages on things. I was a little concerned that you chose to put the officer's name in your social media post. In today's day and age, I think that kind of issue really, it goes against what we want to do for our police officers. If you have an issue with that particular police officer, there is a way to file a complaint with the police department. Nothing gets solved on social media,
No issue.
and that was my only comment, since you were gonna bring it up.
It was a public comment.
I understand, but, you know, I'm concerned about the safety of our police officers and putting their names out there and alleging that they have done something wrong, like you did.
As I am, in the past, our neighborhood has been targeted, I feel, targeted unfairly, and this just felt the same way. And I'm not pinpointing anyone, I respect our officers, they keep
Well,
us very
I'm gonna
safe.
disagree with you on that one, because the
Fair enough.
statistics of parking tickets show nothing about Hidden Hills, and in terms of being targeted. That's your words, I disagree with you. I don't know if this is the place to keep going, I apologize for taking this longer way than I should have, but I do think some of the things I'm gonna disagree with you. Our police department has not targeted your development, but we have received numerous complaints about illegal parking in your neighborhood. I have brought a few tonight, in case you didn't believe me, of just in the last 2 years, of just complaints I've gotten from your neighbors.
Matt, I respect you, okay, and I don't disagree with you, and I don't disagree with the laws, and I will pay my ticket, I have no problem with that. I just wanted to bring up the idea that possibly it might be a little bit, a better idea to maybe adjust the ordinance, so, especially for families that have multiple cars in the family. There's a house on the street that has a 20 by 30 driveway, and they have 5 cars. Where are they supposed to put their vehicles? And they crammed them somehow in the driveway, and they went over on the grass, which is also illegal. So that's, part of my, so the parking issue is, you know, a small part of the issue, it's just the double standard that, some of these ordinances have. I know this is not the place to argue that, and, I'm sorry, but you did bring it up.
I get your comment, however, it's not a double standard, it's enforced in all 140 miles of public roads in this town. Every development has the same standard. The difference is the size of the driveways, and that's something you are well aware of when you bought your house, just like I know I live on a corner. It is what it is. So, I'm just gonna disagree with you that you're being targeted, and I just wanna say that I'm disappointed, because I've known you for a long time, that you decided to put the police officer's name, because it shows, all right, I apologize. Thank you.
Just repeat yourself.
Fair enough.
Anyone else? Okay. Is that listening to the-
You did close the meeting to the public.
All right, we have, unfortunately, a couple of resignations. Resignation for Alexander Pierre, Deputy Court Administrator, and Martin Turiska, Junior Truck Driver for DPW. Can I have a motion, please?
I'll make that motion, Mayor.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Murello, second by Mr. Roehrich. Can I have a roll call, please?
Vice Mayor Murello.
Aye.
Committeeman Roehrich.
Aye.
Committeeman Curioni.
Aye.
Committeeman Bajek.
Aye.
Mayor Marino.
Aye, thank you.
Okay. I'm sorry if I meant not you off.
We have a bunch of items for our consent agenda. I'm gonna read off, and then, we'll, vote at the end. For our consent agenda, we have Resolution R 30-26, volunteer appointment adjustments. We've got Resolution R 31-26, authorized tax exemption for disabled veteran Joseph Cassidy. Resolution 32-26, authorized tax exemption for disabled veteran Connor Meehan. Resolution R 33-26, resolution authorizing the Township of Washington to enter into a cooperative pricing agreement in the Passaic County Cooperative Pricing System. Resolution R 34-26, resolution of the Township of Washington, County of Morris, City of New Jersey, authorizing the release of soil cash bond block 43, lot 62.02, Stevensburg Road. We have application for membership for the Long Valley First Aid Squad. And we've got, application for membership on the Long Valley Fire Company. We have an application for public event for the Long Valley Junior Women's Club Trivia Night for Saturday, March 21st at St. Luke's Parish. We have application for public event, Long Valley Women's Junior Club Antiques in the Valley, to be held on Saturday, February 28th. We have an application for public event, Squeeze Mountain Smokeout 2026, for our school, with the Squeeze Mountain Fire Company, to be held on February 21st, 2026. We have the approval of minutes for our December 10th, 2025 work session and the December 15th, 2025 regular meeting. We have the payment of vouchers, and we have our multi-department reports. Would anyone on the committee like to have a report? Seeing none, can I have a motion for consent agenda, please?
I'll make the motion for this evening's consent agenda, Mayor.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Morello, second by Mr. Rohr. Roll call, please, Denean.
Vice Mayor Murello.
Aye.
Committeeman Roehrich.
Aye.
Committeeman Curioni.
Aye.
Committeeman Bajek.
Aye.
Mayor Marino.
Aye, thank you very much. We have a resolution, R 35-26, a resolution, let's see, authorizing execution of an addendum to the shared services agreement for firefighting services between the Township of Washington and the Township of Tewksbury. Can I have a motion, please?
I'll make that motion, Mayor.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Morello, seconded by Mr. Rohr. Roll call, please.
Vice Mayor Murello.
Aye.
Committeeman Roehrich.
Aye.
Committeeman Curioni.
Aye.
Committeeman Bajek.
Aye.
Mayor Marino.
Aye, thank you. Let's see. Okay, I've got a resolution, R 36-26. Resolution of the Township of Washington, County of Morris, State of New Jersey, authorizing execution of an addendum to the 5th Shared Service Agreement for Police Services between the Township of Washington and the Borough of California. Can I have a motion? Motion, please.
I'll make a motion for R 36-26.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Morello, second by Mr. Rohr. Roll call, please.
Vice Mayor Murello.
Aye.
Committeeman Roehrich.
Aye.
Committeeman Curioni.
Aye.
Committeeman Bajek.
Aye.
Mayor Marino.
Aye. Thank you. We have resolution 37-26. Resolution of Township of Washington, County of Morris, State of New Jersey, authorizing execution of an addendum to the 5th Shared Service Agreement for shared municipal court between the Township of Washington and the Borough of California. May I have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to approve. resolution R 3746, Mayor.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Morello, second by Mr. Rohr, roll call please.
Vice Mayor Murello. Committeeman Roehrich.
Aye.
Committeeman Curioni.
Aye.
Committeeman Bajek.
Aye.
Mayor Marino.
Aye, thank you. Lastly, we have resolution R 38-26, authorize the renewal of a shared services agreement between the Township of Washington and the Borough of Mendham for shared municipal courts. May I have a motion, please?
I'll make that motion, Mayor, for R 3826.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Morello, second by Mr. Rohr, roll call please.
Vice Mayor Murello.
Aye.
Committeeman Roehrich.
Aye.
Committeeman Curioni.
Aye.
Committeeman Bajek.
Aye.
Mayor Marino.
Aye, thank you very much. And as we do to all of our meetings, at the end, I'd like to also open the meeting up one more time to the public. Anyone wishing to make any comments, please
Mayor,
feel free.
I have a brief statement, after the public speaks.
Okay, anyone, any other public wishing
Excuse me, Russ.
Pat Connor on the resolutions, I did, the other resolutions, I did notice that these are continuations of shared service agreements with, at least in what was posted, no further discussion of what the prices are. And I'm not here really to comment on the prices. I don't know what the fair prices are or what the fair share is. Which then, it appears that these, at least in one occasion, have gone on for 5 years, just with a redo every so often. May be appropriate, may not be appropriate, I have no idea. How do we, how are these prices set? They seem to be set historically, and maybe they're fine, but is there any review done at any time? It looks like not.
The
Yeah.
DCA gets every single shared service agreement and
Mhm.
approves of it.
The
There are-
CA?
The DCA, Division of Community Affairs.
Oh,
The state.
okay. Do they critically review what the pricing is?
They review everything. The DCA, they've actually rejected some, not for Washington Township.
Okay, so DCA at the state level in Trenton then says whether or not it's a fair share or not?
Yes, and these three contracts were, the sole purpose of each of the addenda were just to extend them by 6 months, so negotiations can keep going on.
So if
They're not making any changes to anything else.
okay, so if the township were to retain, an accounting firm or consulting firm to review its shared services agreements just to check on pricing, that would be duplicative of what the DCA is providing the township, is that correct?
I don't know, I couldn't say that, I don't know what it would entail.
Yeah, well,
I can't really speak to that, I'm not an accountant.
yeah, accountant is not really what I want to, how you set a price for the share is, it's beyond me. But, okay, so the DCA is charged, the state agency.
They get every single, they get a copy of every single shared services agreement.
And they evaluate the prices.
No, we don't.
I can't speak to what they evaluate, they evaluate the agreements.
Mr. Connor, we negotiate like we would any business deal. I mean, we have a responsibility to our taxpayers. We have costs that we incur to operate our police department and our fire department. We want to get, and we want to have a fair price for the services we provide to that township. They, on the other hand, doing the same thing. They're responsible to their taxpayers, and they want to minimize how much they pay.
Sure.
We're simply in a negotiation. In terms of being, trying to make as much as we can, we have limits of what we can do,
Mhm.
as Attorney Sullivan stated. But we're just still in a negotiation with them, that we needed more time past the expiration of the contract.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last statement or question. When is the last time, the share or the rate charged a neighboring municipality for any of the services has gone up over 10%?
Not to my memory.
Okay. So it was set, the rates and the shares were set years ago, and we proceed assuming that that was correct and fair.
renegotiate contracts, many of them are 3 to 5 years.
Okay.
A lot of these ones we're on the agenda tonight are just continuations because we're still in negotiations.
Right, I got that from looking at them.
That's
They have an annual, most of them have an annual increase that happens automatically every year, and then every 5 years we renegotiate. It's not rocket science.
I don't know, setting prices. is-
It's somewhat difficult, but it's not rocket science.
Okay.
I wish there were a scale.
Yeah, it makes life a whole lot
It would be a
easier.
lot easier.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome, thank you. Before I actually close the meeting to the public, you want to make a statement? Are you speaking as a committeeman or as a member of the
I'm
public?
speaking as a member of the public.
And need to.
Walter Curioni. First, I want to apologize for my tardiness. My son had a wrestling match this evening at West Mars Central, so I was running a little bit behind. I apologize to the public. I just wanted to clarify our record. The residents of Washington Township deserve elected officials who conduct themselves with decency, integrity, and respect for the truth. On January 7th, Mr. Murello attended a land use meeting and spoke during the public portion. During his remarks, he falsely stated that I requested appointment to the land use board, quote unquote, because it was easy, and then proceeded to characterize the purpose of the board based on that false premise. Let me be unequivocally clear, Mr. Murello. I made no such request. No statement was misconstrued, no words were taken out of context. The statement was wholly fabricated. At no time did I ever request placement on any committee, nor would I ever describe any committee comprised of dedicated volunteers as easy. It is an honor to serve this great municipality. Each committee is staffed by individuals who bring valuable experience, professionalism, and a unique skill set to their work on behalf of our residents. It's unfortunate that you went and dispute, obviously, those false statements. And I'll end with just a quote from Abraham Lincoln: "Truth is generally the best vindication against slander." Thank you.
It's up to you.
I'm going to close the meeting.
Crystal Sullivan. I just want to reiterate, I have the utmost respect for our committeeman mayor and especially our law enforcement. I did not mean to pinpoint anyone in my post. I just wanted to make the point that, my opinion, this blanket argument was, I feel unfair. Again, utmost respect, and I really appreciate that they're continuing to keep us safe. Chief Elmer and the rest of the police force, they do a great job, and really appreciate it, me and my family.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none, I'll close the meeting to the public. Seeing nothing else on the agenda, can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening. Safe travel.